Hello, I'm Ray here and this is MotoNZ. We're back in Auckland, back in a Tesla for another motorcycle launch. Let's do it. Hello, who do we have here?
Hi. I have a nice shirt on today.
Oh, he's all official. Look at him go. Have you ridden any of these yet?
I've ridden the Scrambler 400.
Oh yes, and?
Yeah. I like it. It looks really pretty in my office too. Like I've been sitting there doing my work, my boring work, and I've been enjoying looking at it.
Which colour did you have?
I had the black one.
Oh yes.
And, yeah.
You're not usually a fan of a black bike.
No, it's grown on me. It's weird. No, I've been really enjoying the black one. Red obviously looks cool too, and khaki, well, everyone wanted khaki, so there's none of those here today because they all have owners.
Yeah, the Carnival Red I quite like.
Yeah, I think it photographs particularly well.
However, check out this blue. Apparently the blue never sold in the first shipment, and in the second shipment it just took off.
Looking at it, yes, they look very good.
The one I'm excited about though is just rocked up.
Okay, here we are at the Triumph Daytona and 400's launch. Of course, the Speed 400 and the Scrambler 400X. Some fantastic looking bikes here today. Gonna try and ride definitely one of each, the 400 and the Daytona. Hopefully we can get a full power Daytona. Of course, comes in two variants. We've got a Lambs and a full power edition. So I'd really like to get the full power Daytona. Okay, Scrambler 400X. Here we go, team. First ride on the 400. Feels soft. Feels soft and squidgy. Okay, so the power delivery is friendly. It boogies. This is probably the first bike I've ridden in a very long time, if ever, with a needle for a speedo. So we've got one great big speedo needle. Why do I have a check engine light? That's peculiar. Suspension is quite plush at high speeds. Just went over a pothole that I would have expected be quite abrasive to my rear end, and no, not abrasive at all. I would want to probably wind up the preload a little bit. Bearing in mind this engine is also brand new. It's done 131 kilometers so far. My pegs straight down. I've got a bit of bend in the knee, but it does feel adventure-y for a Scrambler. Clearly it is. Feels high. It's got a higher seat than Speed Twin. Right, third gear, 6,000 revs and go. Okay, so it is a little engine, a little single cylinder 400cc banger, and bearing that in mind, the performance of that little engine is quite good. Oh, there's some big potholes there. I can wind it on, and she fairly stonks on. She gets moving. This is a fun little bike. It's got a little bit of character, a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of go, go, go. Okay, so now that the pace has calmed down a little bit, what more can I tell you about this bike? We've got a single disc up front, single disc down back. That's all we need. The brakes feel adequate. They still feel better than my Tenere 700, which is, well, it's not really saying much, to be fair. Seat is very squishy, but rear suspension probably needs to be stiffened up a little bit for my liking. Standing position. I've got quite a bit to grip onto with my knees, gripping onto the front of the seat, the rear of the tank. And if you are scrambling, if you are getting off-road, this is what you're going to be doing. So that's quite good. Although what I believe is the airbox is kind of between my calf muscles, and my knees want to come in a bit further. But I could probably lock my feet into the pegs a little bit. I'd probably be swapping out the pegs, to be fair. Not a big fan of the pegs. I'm fine for on-road, but if you're going to be standing on this thing, you're going to want better pegs than that. They're a bit narrow. The bike I'm on is Carnival Red, which is a colour that is growing on me. Shifter is where I'd want it, although possibly a little bit further down than I like. Here we go, back into the twisties. One finger braking, brake lever is well placed. And clutch shifting at the moment. Let's try no clutch shifting. Oh, yep, a little blip of the throttle I can downshift. Little blip of the throttle I can upshift. Hell yeah, this thing gets along all right. And I bet you it uses bugger all gas. Okay, no hands test. How much vibration are in these bars? No, they're fine. There's a little bit of vibration, but that's how you know the engine's still running, right? Okay, so let's talk about who this bike is for. This is, yes, it's a Triumph, but it's a single-cylinder, smaller cc bike, all right? It's a 400cc bike. Who is it for? Lambs riders, people just starting out, maybe people with, I was going to say short people, but it's not exactly a short person's bike. It's still 800 plus millimeter seat height. People who want to have a bit of fun. People who don't want to take life and motorcycling too goddamn seriously. This will do your morning commute. It'll do your evening commute too. This will do pretty much anything you want it to do, right? And being a scrambler, there's nothing stopping you putting some more slightly off-road focused tyres on it and taking it down some gravel roads. I don't know if I would take it to some of the more off-road places that I have been to, but maybe that's something we need to do. Maybe that's a challenge. Maybe that's what needs to happen to see how well sorted this bike is. The Triumph 400 Scrambler 400X. There's only over 35 accessories for these bikes. We're talking bar end mirrors, we're talking scrolling indicators, there's luggage, there's protection for them. There's heaps of stuff. Triumph believe wholeheartedly that motorcycle personalization is something that every motorcyclist should be able to do.
Okay, so I've just been out on the Triumph 400 Scrambler X, Triumph Scrambler 400X, and I thought I'd share some thoughts with you after having ridden that bike, because very, very soon, we're just having lunch now, but very soon I'm hoping to get out on the new Daytona, and I'm aiming for the full fat one, hopefully to get on the non-learner approved one. So anyway, Scrambler 400X. Some minor suspension tweaks required. Very squishy, very squidgy, very soft, especially the rear end. Felt quite at home with the wheel selection, and quite a nice ride. For a beginner, that's going to be a brilliant bike and a lot of fun. Can you imagine, you know, you and a few mates all on those bikes hooning down the Molesworth? I think that would be a hoot, an absolute hoot. And especially, like, if you're a lanky dude, some of these learner bikes are pretty small. So if you're a lanky dude or dudette, I think the Scrambler 400X might be a really good solution for you to learn on. But I think you're going to want more power. and it works because Triumph are kind of using these bikes as gateway drugs. So you've got the Speed Twin 400, then you move up to the Speed Twin 900, and then you've got a Speed Twin 1200. You've got the Scrambler 400X, then you've got the Scrambler 900, then you've got a Scrambler 1200. It kind of works, doesn't it? That's kind of what they're up to. Sneaky. So it's good to see Triumph have some entry-level bikes, and the price. I think, and I'm going to confirm this with the graphics on the screen right here. Best part of $8,000 for the Speed Twin, and $9,000, 8,999 for the Scrambler. That's pretty good. That's really good considering the competition in the market.
Okay, we are now out on the Street 400, Triumph Street 400. And as you would expect, very similar to the Scrambler 400X, but streetier. Lower seat height, different rims, different suspension, I believe. Same everything else, as far as I can tell. Some cosmetic changes. Okay, out of the two, I've heard it said that the Scrambler 400X is the better bike. It was one Peter Elliott that said that, in fact. But you know what? I think I enjoy this one, the Speed 400, more. You can just rag on it. It wants to be spanked. It wants you to wind it on and just pin it all day. Being a single, it's not brutal power when you do wind it on. So if you're used to something a little bit sparklier, maybe a twin or something like that, then you are going to spend a lot of time at full throttle. But remember, it is a 400cc single, and it's, for what it is, it's a fantastic little bike. I would have no problems recommending this to learners, to those short of stature. It's fun. I got a problem with remembering to turn the indicator off. Okay, here we go on the full fat Daytona 660, not Lambs. This is the full fat. This is the big one. This is the one I'm really looking forward to. This is the one I want to ride. It's got a great exhaust tone. It's very small though. It's a very small bike, very forward, very leaned in. A lot of weight on my hands. Stand over those, quite good. I can flat foot it. It's a completely different Triumph to... It sounds like a stupid thing to say, I'm aware. But it's a completely different bike to the single 400s. It's not like they haven't taken anything from the 400s to make this, and vice versa. Following Ride Forever trainer, motorcycle trainer, and ex-motorcycle stuntman Chris Smith. An all-round nice guy too. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about power delivery on this bike. Ergonomics. Oh, I'm so forward leaned over and weight on my hands. It's classic Daytona, full-on sport bike stance. Power is respectable. Like it really does howl and it goes for it. It's, I don't know. It's like I guess it's the thing that makes it Lambs, right? Is the map. So it's the same engine. It's just tuned differently to be restricted to fit into Lambs, as far as I understand. It's still a 660, whether it's Lambs or high output, full fat, full power. But I don't know. I kind of expected a little bit more power. This is the bike I've been looking forward to all day, and it's nice. It's cool. It is cool, but it's not. I want to go back to the Street Triple. Is that bad? I want the Street Triple RS. If I had to choose between this or the Street Triple RS, the Street Triple is where I'm at. Why is that? What's that about? The dash looks a little bit basic to me. It's functional and it's all there, but it just doesn't feel as refined and as smart as I'm used to from Triumph. And of course, there's no extras on this bike. There is a quite an extensive back catalogue, including, I believe, cruise control and quick shifter and all this other stuff, but not on here. Brakes on this bike are really good though. Engine's pretty smooth under acceleration. Engine's pretty smooth all around, really. Very, very smooth. I just expected maybe a little bit more brutal acceleration. Not sure. Definitely lovely to ride. If you've never ridden one of these before, or anything this style, highly recommend taking it for a ride, because what might catch you by surprise is how heavy your weight is on your wrists while riding this bike. Having never ridden the original Daytona, I couldn't comment on whether Triumph have delivered here and lived up to the Daytona name. But I can tell you now that my understanding of the Daytona was an all-out track attack sport bike, and this definitely feels like that. Sharp, nimble, agile, powerful, all of those, fully feared. Doesn't help that I need to pee, and these are really bumpy roads. We covered the Daytona when it was first announced, and I'm absolutely stoked to be able to ride it. There's some fantastic bikes in Triumph's lineup, and now with the 400s coming in as the entry level, as the gateway drug to the Triumph world, they're definitely offering something for as many riders as they possibly can. I don't know anyone who's ever been disappointed with a Triumph. Yeah, there's the brutal, unbridled power. You gotta get above the 6,000 rev mark. You gotta ride it properly. That's your fucking issue. Oh, that exhaust tone above 5,000 revs. Wow! Fantastic. Holy crap, this thing revs to the moon. That's why I said it had no power. This thing just keeps on going. Where's Redline? Redline's not till 13,000. I'm used to Redline at 7. Just hold on to the gear and it keeps on going. And the brakes are very, 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 very good, as you would expect.
Wow, what a day. That is about us from here at Triumph HQ in Auckland. We're in QMU, and I've just ridden all three bikes on offer here today. The Triumph Street 400, the Triumph Scrambler, or 400 Scrambler X, no, Scrambler 400X, and the full fat Daytona. And wow, some seriously cool bikes. I've got to pack up my gear and get back to Wellington. If you like what you've seen, please do hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments box below. Really appreciate you watching, and thank you very much for joining me. what do they say? Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Hooroo!